welcome to Talking Gems. I'm Onyx.
I'm Phoenix.
I'm Malaysia.
And I'm Lauren.
Okay.
And on this pod, we're going to be discussing episode 4. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes, week 4 of Bachelorette. And Claire, our last week.
Oh, our last week of Clare.
With Claire.
Yeah.
As our Bachelorette. And honestly, it was a great runner-up to the best episode ever.
Mm-hmm. No, it was pretty good.
Yeah. And it was juicy, delivered.
Mm-hmm.
So we start off this episode with a mess. Just a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
So Claire, we all know last episode she's supposed to go on this date. She doesn't go. Right? This is that what happened last episode, right?
She did cancel the group.
Yeah. She canceled a group date.
The daytime,
Gave herself a rose, and then she has that one-on-one, sends that guy home. So now we're back in the house. And
there was a roast one, then she didn't give a group date out.
Yes. Back in the house, so they're all expecting to go to this cocktail party.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's where the drama it's over. Like they knew the beginning of the end was happening. So, supposed to have a cocktail party. Claire is not in the space or mind. She gets a visit from Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Claire and Chris.
Yes. I love the fact that the scene wasn't, like, the set wasn't ready. That's how unprepared.
Yes.
Oh,
Bless
whoa.
you.
Literally, I was
The
like, what
first
is
time
happening?
I thought it was going to happen. I was like, this one's going to
I
hit.
couldn't tell what was going on.
I just really couldn't hold that one in. Like
I thought you were just doing like a dramatic pause.
it was just like a. Sorry. Okay, I'll repeat what I was gonna say. I like how the scene wasn't set because Chris had to come in and move the chair to make the scene work.
No,
to make
right.
the shot work. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna move around some furniture. Okay, we need to have a serious shot." And boils down to he was like, "Don't bullshit me, Claire.
Yeah.
How do you feel? And like, we need to work this out because this ain't happening. It isn't working."
Yeah.
I kind of want to see what would have happened if like they didn't intervene and just like let her keep going on stringing these guys along.
It just would have been a crappy season.
I think she would have cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, eventually she would have. Yeah, she would
I
have
think
like,
she
I
would have been
can't
like,
do it.
I can't do it.
She was almost already there.
Yeah.
Canceling dates.
She was.
Giving herself a rose.
Oh, the reason that she canceled the day date wasn't because she didn't want to hang out with them, but she did not like the type of date it was. I don't know what it was, but she was like not okay with the type of date that the producers had set up for the day portion. So it looks like Claire kept them waiting, but like she had been canceled it or whatever.
Again, producers.
Making them just kind of go frenzy.
Yeah. So, Chris is talking to Claire,
Yes.
basically saying, okay, the gig is up. Everyone, we can't go on like this. Like, this is not going to be feasible. What do you want to do? Where do we go from here? Because the way we're moving is not possible. And Claire just, balls her ass. Like, it's Dale. It's Dale. There's no one else. It's Dale. I can't keep my mind off Dale. Right. So then Chris is like, okay. And then we're like, all right, we already know this. News to us, right? Chris comes back to the house. All the boys, thinking, they're about to get a message like, oh, get ready for the cocktail party. The day is moving on. Chris announces there's no cocktail party to the entire house.
You know what killed me though?
No.
They was all like, yeah, and I'm gonna tell her that like this is not okay, Claire. And this is not, you're not setting a good example. And he immediately came in and was like, y'all, you don't even have the chance.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Like cocktail party canceled.
Yeah.
Real ceremony canceled.
Canceled.
In fact, we're just gonna have to pick this up tomorrow.
Your relationship
Yeah.
with Claire canceled.
Yeah. And I was just thinking in their heads, because they're already working themselves up, like she's not been great to us. She's not treating us well. Just going in. And I'm just like, yes, but producers. Remember, producers.
Yeah, do they not
It's
tell
both, in my opinion.
the cast like what's
No.
producers and what isn't?
No.
No.
What do you say?
Like, do they not tell the guys like what's producer's fault and what isn't?
No.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
They probably don't find out till after.
Okay.
And like whenever they start getting stories together, and then when they start thinking about it and what Claire or whoever's saying versus what they're saying, and then they're like,
And also to put a little cherry on top, Chris was like, "Oh, can I get Dale to come over a little bit, step to the side, call him out in front of everybody."
First off,
I'm like, oh
unnecessary.
My gosh, that's so messy.
For a second, I thought they was gonna let him go back into that house though the whole time.
Yes.
Because they never really said that he was getting his own place.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my god, they about to just send him back. What is he gonna say? What is he supposed to tell them? Where he's been this whole time? He was just sleeping with Claire.
If they did that, that's the ultimate foulest. Knowing how the guys feel about Dale and this whole situation, to send him back in and for him to be like, yeah, I kind of have like a one-on-one tonight. Or even the next morning after their date started in their head. But like, I thought
every time
they were going to send him back in the next morning. They're like, I mean, I know he didn't like stay the night or anything like that. Have anybody seen Dale? I was like, if y'all sent him in, foulest humans on the planet.
Yeah. I was nervous
because he was in her bed.
Yeah.
Cuddled up. They did the thing.
I'm dead. How they all like pan to her dress and his clothes on the floor. I was
they
like,
always
messy.
always like do a little scene of like birds flying and like bees chirp. And it's like, oh, what y'all are. Also, whenever they do that, I'm like, so did they like wake them up and then be like, okay, guys, go like brush your teeth, whatever, then get back into bed
They probably,
and we'll set up your dress
got, like,
right here.
Those calls, like courtesy calls, like at the hotels. I imagine they're like, okay, Claire, we're about to come in.
Yeah, make the shot work and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. But okay, I do want to discuss all the guys who are left back in that room or whatever.
I don't like most of them.
Their thought process of what was happening, why did Dale get pulled aside? Some of it was like funny, like that they really did not realize that they really did not believe that Dale was such a front runner. They're like, it's just like too soon. There's no way.
I think they probably just like in denial or something, because they was there when she was with Claire for those 30, 45 an hour. Like, y'all knew.
Some were like, yeah, no, for sure, it's Dale. And the others, like, what's his name with the big chin?
Blake
Crimson chin.
Yeah, he's definitely was in denial.
Yeah, he was so in denial. I don't know why. Like, sir, like, you're not in the front.
Because I think he thinks he's at least in solid second place because he's the one who talked to her beforehand and like she made
time on him.
He said,
I don't like him.
I read a dementia book for her. Like, get out of here.
That was my biggest issue and problem with him. Talking about, I invested so much and time in this, and for her to just, who asked you? She didn't.
This is what pisses me off too. All of these guys are like, oh my, like all like our time was wasted or like all this stuff. I'm like, I mean, yes. This only be filmed for 12 days, so like okay, but there was a chance that you could have went home night one. You quarantined. And you went through all of this knowing that you could have went home at any point.
Yes.
Like you might have went home night one or you could have made it to the final two. Technically, unless you're the winner, it's all kind of wasted. Like, so there's no like, like not a fair shot. I'm like, okay, but even if like, say it was Tayshia from the beginning, if Tayshia didn't like you and sent you home night one, you quarantined and you waited all this time
just
for nothing.
Yeah. So regardless, you don't know when you would have went home.
But I kind of understand her sentiments where it's like, are you even giving us an equal chance? Like, or is it just
she
Dale?
loved it. She was.
Did she? No, she didn't. Let's be real. She was not, like, throughout most of her dates, mentally she was not there. Emotionally, she was not open. I just felt like she was so closed off to most of the guys throughout this experience, and she was only really emotionally available to Dale, or willing to be emotionally available to Dale.
I agree with that. My whole thing is, once it became too much, or they forced it on her essentially, but she was going to get to that point anyways. She wasn't going to waste their time. Like, she wasn't doing it intentionally. She really was trying to be open to the process because this is what she wanted. She wanted an opportunity to find love. So she wasn't purposefully trying to be.
I don't think she was doing it on purpose, but when they brought in that past Bachelorette, I have no idea who she is. And I feel like that conversation changed everything. that's when she started to like just focus her attention on Dale. She's like, yeah, Dale is the one. Like, I feel like that single conversation changed her whole and shifted her whole focus to just only Dale. She's like, yeah, that's the one. Like, I saw that switch in how she viewed the process.
Because I do feel like night one, in the very beginning, I do think she was giving guys a fair shot, because how she talked, to me, I base it on her no chill. Whenever she is like, so like, oh my God, like, like no chill, I'm like, I feel you're giving it a shot. And there was multiple guys in the very like first episode, second episode, where she was like, oh my God, like, Claire, you're embarrassing. Yeah. Like, calm down. Like, I love that you do that. Really? And I think it stayed with Dale. And I think she kind of like realized it's him. But I also feel like Claire's not an actress. Like, okay, she's done a lot of things wrong. And I think she could have like done some things better. But also she's not an actress. And most of the leads know their pick as early as she did. Not night one, but like, let's say like at least like a week 2. Like they know who their person is. Everyone else is just better at faking it, acting, and at least trying to kind of give themselves. Claire just doesn't have that capability. Like, she just can't act. Like, she can't be like, I know who my person is, but I'm still like...
Yeah. Because her whole thing is like, I'm here to like find I've been looking for this for how many years, and I know what I want.
She's
I'm not
39.
trying to waste... She's 39, and she knows what she wants. So regardless, she wasn't going to waste time.
Okay, that's what I think is funny, is they're all talking about how she's wasting their time, but she literally wasted no time. Like, when she figured out who she wanted, she was like, no, there's no point. Like, this is who I want.
It would have wasted their time if she would have led them on for like 5 more weeks.
But
that's true.
It's weird though, because at the same time, the producers are the ones that cut it off. It seemed like in her confessionals, the producers were the ones like trying to get her to open up at the same time. So they weren't helping the situation. They weren't saying, okay, Claire, I mean, if this, it's like they had a show to do. So they're trying their best to keep Claire focused on everybody. And then she didn't want to focus on everybody. So, but for their show, they were trying. And then when they realized they couldn't do no more, then they're like, okay, you're fired. You're out. They essentially said you're fired.
I feel like they leaned in towards the end, because how Claire was talking at first, she was like, I should give them a try, or like, yeah, I think Dale is great. And then there was the shift, and I feel like some of the questions maybe were like, okay, I think we're having Tayshia quarantine right now. Let's really try to figure out where Claire is going. So I feel like they kind of let her dig into it. Because a lot of the time, what a lot of leads have said is like, once they kind of pick their person, they're kind of like forced to kind of separate from them. And like, the producers don't ask as many questions, or they try to keep them away so they can focus on other people. It doesn't seem like they did that, because the producers are the ones who control letting people interrupt. And a lot of people think like some of that, like the guys will get up and go ask, but then a lot of the times like they have to ask the producers to interrupt. Yes. And the producers allow them, okay, go ahead, go in now, like whatever. So the fact that the producers let Dale and Claire in that room for that long, that's also producers. Because the producers easily could have went to one of the guys and been like, oh, do you want to go interrupt? Or maybe you should interrupt. And they finally let, was it Riley DeMar? Easy. I was sorry.
All black people do.
There's the DeMar. I knew it was a black guy.
That was racist, Lauren.
Yeah,
your
it
racism
is. But I'm black,
right
so
there.
it's okay.
You're half white, so
I'm not even a quarter. So let's keep it okay. But I just feel like a lot of it, the producers also didn't help.
They did not.
They let Claire. They pushed her off the deep end too.
Okay. I'm about to be a little messy. Do you think Dale is as into her as Claire is into Dale?
No. And this is where okay, go.
Okay, I'll just mine short. So I was thinking about, like, especially when he was like proposing, right? And I was like, his eyes don't move. I was like, honestly, he could be head over heels, or he could be disinterested in her. I can, like, his face, he literally just goes like, and it was like, that's it. Like, that's the only emotion I really see for, even when he was like choking up talking about his mom or something. I was like, it's kind of just blank.
He
You
has
know
a
that,
really good poker face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that meme of that like light skinned dude with the goatee and like the eyes, and he was just like, I think it's a TikTok. He was saying something, but they turned into a meme.
Mm-hmm.
He has like a long face.
Okay.
That's
Is that
him.
Dale to you?
Yeah,
I gotta
Yeah.
look it up.
it's just he gets like I don't know, like his poker face
Mm-hmm.
and like his lack of emotion scared me. So
To me,
Yeah.
he looks scared, or like he looks.
yeah,
yes.
he looks afraid. I'm just like, did you want to propose? Like, I
No.
know he did not want to
No.
propose.
Okay.
Like, when Chris Harrison and him was having that conversation, he was like, "So you're gonna propose to Dale?" He was like, "Okay,
His
okay,
face,
yeah."
he
Yes.
either like his face literally the same, or he just moves his head. That's literally he'll
Yeah.
either shake or like kind of, or he'll just
But like
stay
his
still.
eyes slightly dilated. I was like, "Oh yeah, he did."
So,
I
so
was like,
bringing it back just a tad to when they go into their 101 and we find out it's like overnight and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Claire is all nervous and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell him I love him, or I'm in love with him, or falling."
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I knew Dale likes Claire.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question
Yeah.
about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Claire is in love, ready to get married.
Yes.
yes.
Dale, he was like, what he said is, "I'm falling in love with you
Through the journey."
I heard
this
that.
process and journey."
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
if they had the whole entire time,
He
he
would've
was
been at
going to
that same
propose.
place.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
would
He
have
was
been
gonna
at the
be
same
ready.
place. He was
Yeah.
going to be ready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after that date, when Chris talks to both Claire, without Dale,
Yeah.
he first goes
Sets
to,
it up.
Yeah,
That was wild to me. They plan out his proposal to Claire without Dale.
yes.
What?
Wild.
So Chris, he's like, "Oh, so you had a great night? Okay, so you know what's next. We have to have an ending."
Mhm.
I was like, "Why isn't the ending? They just leave together."
Okay, no.
Yeah.
I was
I
thinking that
just
too.
assumed they weren't gonna like propose because I was like, well,
Yes.
obviously it's been 2 weeks. They're not gonna speed it. They're just gonna be like, okay, you guys can leave. And then Chris was like, well, you know what's next? So I was like, yeah, they go off and have a happily ever after. He's a propose, and I was like, I don't,
Right?
I don't,
And
I don't
feel
have
like,
to do that.
I feel like if it
When I
was
tell you I screamed.
anybody else but Claire, I don't think they could have gone away with it.
Yeah.
I think they knew how much she wanted the fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted her moment, like finally having success on this show after being home 5 times.
She wanted
Especially
the ring.
when he was
She
proposing,
wanted
he
it.
tried to. She's like, no, stay down there, put it back on, do it again.
Yeah, she's like, wait.
She's like-
He's like, no, don't get up. The ring's
No.
not on. Yeah,
That boy was not ready. He's not
No,
ready. I'm sorry.
but
I think he would have been.
yes,
But at that moment, I feel like Dell's low-key kind of good at pretending for the cameras. He know how to turn it on.
yeah,
I get that vibe from him. So he's like, okay, I have to do this to put on the show, to have a fairy tale ending. But did he want to?
No, I don't think he wanted to, but I do think that he proposed because he wants to give it a chance.
Yeah.
It's not.
I agree. I agree. But it's like, is it gonna work out? You feel me? Like,
But again,
was it truly from the heart? Was it like natural?
But I
Like,
think-
did he genuinely want to propose at the moment?
no,
Or
but
did he feel like I feel like he was kind of pushed.
I truly don't know. I truly cannot tell.
yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, what's the difference between when they wait through the end of the process and it's the same thing where people aren't ready, obviously,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they still
Yeah.
propose,
That's true.
I think
and
it's
then
still
they're
a
going to break
limited
up
amount.
later.
To me-
I feel like he
That's
was
true.
like, I
This
want
is-
to give this a chance, and there's no point of like embarrassing her and
Exactly.
making her sad on national television if I really truly like her.
And they just speed up the process of getting to know each other better by being able to leave and just
Yes.
being able to
That's
be
true.
themselves without
Yeah,
cameras.
I think just the words and like the dauntingness of like I'm proposing after 12 days. But I think he realized apparently they said I love you flat out. I love, and he said it to Chris.
Yeah.
He said
When he-
Yeah.
I love you, and that's when I also realized I think it's just his face.
Yeah.
Because even when saying that, his face didn't change, but I don't disbelieve him. Like it was anything. I think he just has like a very expressionless face.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Also,
agree.
when you put Claire and Dale, they're both on the very opposite sides of the spectrum of showing their like emotions
Yeah.
through their
Yes.
how they present. So you have Claire look over here, she's like, yeah, like,
You can mute Claire and know what she's saying.
Yes, she's like, I'm ready. Like, this is what I want.
Yeah, she's talking with her whole body.
And then Dale's just like, yeah, even though I love her. It's like, okay, so
Like the hitchhiking story when like she tells like my father like hitchhiked for my mother and he was like, yeah, I mean, my father, he was, it was so casual. He was like, my father. Yeah.
I
he
was
had
like,
to
if she's telling her
hitchhike to
hitchhiking
Omaha.
story, I would be like, oh my God, wait, they hitchhiked. My parents hitchhiked too. But literally didn't say a thing. She's like, they hitchhiked? Yeah, they hitchhiked. So
he was like,
For real? Really? He did?
He's like, true story.
yeah.
He's like, I'm not lying.
This is real life.
This
Like,
is
I'm not even making this up.
I'm serious, yeah.
And I feel like, okay, I think it's just like I guess he says everything that sounds good, but not in like a fake way. Like it sounds like he was saying like, I want to fall in love with the process. I think in his mind, the idea of like, we haven't discussed maybe like religion yet, or I don't know your favorite color. So that's a little concerning to get proposed, but I think he sees it there and he's like, I want to figure it out and I'm not going to embarrass her. Knowing how she's acted.
Yes.
In previous weeks, he was like, what I'm not going to do is embarrass this woman.
Yeah. I don't think he minds just proposing already.
Yeah. I constantly think about how, like, Dale's process, like when Chris was like, oh, do you want to go on this date? Do you want to like see where this goes? This overnight? Dale, his mind was not, I'm leaving the next day proposing. His mind was definitely in the place like, oh, I'm gonna just get more one-on-one time with Claire.
Yeah, everybody knew what was happening except for
him. He was under the impression it's like, we're just getting alone time, we're hanging out, we're probably gonna leave together, but we don't have to leave propose, fiance. And that's just so out of pocket to me. Like the producers, we didn't need this. They could have, if they really wanted to, they could have put them in a separate little nook and then brought them back. I thought that that's what was going to happen, was we're going to like somehow get like see their relationship progress on the side, and then they bring it back and have them propose at the end and see if they really want to like make it. Because obviously they had a little house for them to stay at. So I was just really confused on why it had to be then.
I think they wanted a happy proposal. They haven't gotten it. I think that's why they casted her in the beginning, in the first place. Because I think they're like, you know who's going to find someone and fall in love? Claire. So I think they like, we don't know how it's gonna work out with Tayshia. We don't know what's gonna like what's everything's up in the air. But what we do know, we have a person who wants to be engaged. We have a person who's willing to do it. We have a proposal that could happen. And if we just mention it, Claire face lit up. And I just think they're like, we need a success story.
Because also, if Dale wasn't there, Claire probably wouldn't have been with anybody. She wouldn't have found.
I don't think so. I can't see it.
Like, I can see her with Blake.
I can't see it.
The way, I don't know, maybe just the way she's talking about, I'm not gonna set, and I am going for the best, and that's it. I feel like she probably would have left.
What if it's like in the pool, or like what she got and the crop she got, she's gonna choose the best of that crop.
I mean, but she went to Paradise like twice, right? And still didn't leave with anybody.
Yes,
like, she's done this before, so I don't think she has a problem with being like, he's not here.
Yeah, but I still feel like there was a guy in that group, because she kept saying they're such great guys. It's just Dale's the one. Now, I'm not saying she would have found the one, but I definitely see herself, being open. She just wasn't open because Dale was there. Like he was she had an idea of him. She looked him up. Like she already was cultivating something.
Yeah.
So without that, she could have did it with someone else. We never know.
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know the success rate it would have been post.
Same.
But I definitely see her getting proposed to, regardless. Like she was gonna get a proposal that ended happy and well at the end of it. And I hope her and Dale.
But I'd rather her like have this and leave early with Dylan instead of her settle with whoever and then they just break up later again.
Exactly.
I just really want Claire to be happy.
Break up.
I want children.
Yeah. They could get divorced after
honestly,
their second child.
Yeah.
If they break up, like I feel like a horrible person. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna kind of like tee like what the heck?
No, everyone will laugh. It's not, if they break up, everyone will laugh, but then also like feel horrible at the same time.
I will feel so bad, but like I'll feel like actually empathetic and sympathetic for her. Unlike the Peter and Colton situation.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you should have known. Like, come on now. You should have known. But at least for Claire, I can kind of tell Dale likes her.
Yes.
As in with Colton, That girl did not like him.
Yeah.
He was just riding along.
She has a restraining order against him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Either
Yep.
he
Yes.
something's off with him,
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
or
That's what's so weird.
they
Okay,
just have a toxic relationship.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go into Cassie and Colton because there's just so much about that situation where I feel like if she followed her intuition, she would have avoided all this. Because I think the reason why she wasn't really feeling Colton was she probably picked up on a little crazy a little bit, right? And I think so.
I mean, that could be crazy, or it could just be. I just think she just wasn't that into him from the beginning.
Yeah, but then what made her get back with him?
Because
I think it's how much he wanted her. I think a little bit was her ego of like, this guy who he seems like a great guy,
Yeah.
really wants me and he wants to just work with me, even if it's not a proposal, because he bows out of like, I'm not gonna propose,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I just want to give it a shot. I think she was like, yeah, I mean, why not? You're
But
a great guy.
I understand that for a couple months. They were dating for like 2 years, a year
I
and a half.
remember if their relationship was bad enough to where she got a restraining order.
But she got restraining order.
It was
after
after.
they broke up because of his behavior after they broke up.
Yeah, it wasn't during.
I mean,
It's
we
'cause-
don't know their life.
Well, I mean, from what they've said, the relation, like, it wasn't perfect, but like it didn't seem like in the relationship he was like crazy.
Oh, okay.
It was, she got scared after because he was when he was sick with COVID, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
They was over here like, taking care of him and everything, and that was, and then they break up 2 months later. Like, I feel like he wouldn't be in their family's house, and he's like off his rockers. I mean, you never know about people. We don't know these people's life.
We don't know what their relationship was.
So essentially, Claire and Dale get engaged to be wed, and I'm just astonished. I'm in shock. I just can't believe this really happened.
I'm happy.
But happy at the same time for
Yes.
Claire. But just like, what world are we living in that we're just accepting this as Bachelor? This is correct. Bachelorette
Yes.
producers, you guys,
You did it.
You did it.
Yeah,
Good
a
job,
4-episode
guys.
arc. Her 4-episode. And honestly, overall, as a Bachelorette, I don't like. She figured it out before any of you hoes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great 4-episode arc. I think she's gonna go down as a
Legend.
a character, interesting, a top tier drama filled season, and it's 4 episodes.
Yeah. No, those 4 episodes were the best. Could have been its own season, and that would have been my favorite season of The Bachelor ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's how fantastic it was. But that also to me with the guys, it's like, I get where you're coming from up to a point. Like, I get it. Like, I get getting hurt if you have invested your, like Jason, the one who had to do the whole therapy talk one.
Yeah.
I did feel bad for you because you did have to open your life and you obviously did not want to do it.
Yeah.
That sucked. But the Kenny who was like,
who's Kenny?
the one who's like, you need to I think you should apologize.
I was disgusted.
I said, to me, it was kind of like the minute it's been 1 week of dates that things have gone south. You guys have had these sentiments. 1 week of dates. You guys have been filming for 12 days. So that's what? That's like 3 days, 3 days, 4 days of the sentiment. Like, to me, that's not really like wasting your time because they figured it out. Or now, if this was week 7,
Yes.
Yeah.
okay. But you guys just said it in the last conversation.
Yeah.
Like, things were.
Their egos are just messed up because they're like, Dale? What Dale? Like, none of them are, they're just confused on Dale.
She's not thinking straight.
It's like, it doesn't matter. Dale could act like one way in the house, but he could be, and I don't think that's two-faced whenever people are like, oh, he's a different way in the house. How about he's not here for you?
Yeah.
He's here for Claire. So,
Are you dating Dale?
Yeah.
I didn't think so. So shut up.
so some guys, they just want to just be to themselves, or
Yeah.
they interact on a surface level, and then they open up to whoever they're trying to pursue. And I just think sometimes people are like, well, I just don't want them to get hurt because they don't know the real you. I was like, hey, let her make that mistake.
They're just bitter. And
Yes.
they just want to find
What
reasons.
Blake was like.
And what?
I'm sorry. You're about to keep on talking, so I was just gonna stop me talking because you're in the middle of talking,
no, I
and
was
then
kinda
you're
done.
like, reasons, and if you stopped, and so I was like, oh,
No, I'm done.
okay. So if you saw her, she was going this, and she never finished.
I usually don't finish my sentences, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, we know.
yeah.
Okay.
That's why I didn't know if you were, so that I stared a little too long, and it made
Some
me
of them,
laugh.
sometimes I just say kind of thoughts, and then they just kind of dwindle out.
Dwindle off. That's
Yeah.
okay. So, when Blake was saying, like, after Kenny was like, we need an apology, and Blake, he was like, I just don't know if you're making the right decision. I just don't want you to get hurt and all this crap. Again, she makes the wrong decision. If she really likes one of you guys, she'll just come back for you. I mean, I just don't understand that sentiment.
Like, I you know, it's hurt. So like people who are hurt, they lash out. But it's just like it's like you don't want her to stay because then she'll be stringing you along. Like she's saying, I know who it is. So it's like you're mad that she's leaving and you don't think she knows what she's doing.
Yes.
But then her staying will also be bad because then she'll be stringing you along.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I don't know what you kind of want out of the situation.
They wanted her. They wanted her to fall in love with them. That's all they wanted.
And
It's an ego thing.
Yeah, but that's also it's just one of the things I think we get to see it happen all at the same time versus each week we get like 4 or 5 guys leaving or like 1 or 2 later in the season. So I feel like they're shocked or like processing as they're the one who's like not get the rose. But the fact that all 15 guys are getting broken up at once and they get to still talk and like engage and kind of like
egg each other on.
Egg each other on. I think that was the issue.
Yeah.
Because there was like none of you guys were it. Like that's the thing. It's like I don't know if you're making the right choice. I'm like, but there's still not a chance that it's you.
Yeah.
Like it still could have been him or
No,
him.
but they all
like,
their connection with Claire was different. It was different.
but at the same time, they're like, I don't even think Kenny's like, we haven't had a connection. We haven't even had a talk. I'm like, so
why are you
why
mad?
do you care?
Why are you mad?
So then go home.
Yeah.
Why are you pressed?
Or then they're like, there's no way Dale and her have a connection after 2 hours of talking. And I thought she just said that like she spends all her time interacting with Dale. So what is it?
And even like whenever there's something, she doesn't even know him. Do you know? Are you in their conversations?
Yeah.
Literally, whenever they talk, they're not talking about you. You're not worry about yourself and your relationship with Claire. It was non-existent.
Yeah.
So why are
They're
you
just
impressed?
mad because they didn't win.
Yes.
It's an ego trip.
Yeah.
This reminds me of when Lauren, remember we had the epiphany about Claire? No?
Could you
okay,
explain
I
the
didn't want to
epiphany?
say it. Okay, we had an epiphany. When she was explaining how her mom and dad got
Should we not say this epiphany?
No. It's just really funny because just who Claire is and how Claire acts. When she said, "My dad like proposed after what like."
Was it
3 weeks?
3 weeks or something crazy.
Yeah.
It all clicked into place. We said, okay, so this is why you're diving in. Like this is why it's for you is no hurdle.
She wants that same love story that her parents
like
had.
that whole like if you just know, you know. Like I
was like, okay, yeah. So she grew up with a fantasy, and so she wants to emulate that same fantasy. And it's like sometimes fantasy become reality, and so in this case, she's making sure that happens.
she wants her Prince Charming because I think she felt like her dad was her mom's Prince Charming, and I do think that's like when a parental figure dies early and you had a good relationship, I think immortalize them and you kind of forget their faults if there was any, you know, like everyone's human.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's part of it. Like she has obviously really deep love for her father, thinks he's just an amazing guy, and he really could have been an amazing guy, but I think it made it harder for these guys throughout the years to like live up to that.
Yeah.
And she decided that Dale can.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. So Claire and Dale, they're gone.
Oh, sorry. Can I say one last thing?
Oh yeah.
Chris Harrison is working. He's working double time this episode.
Yes.
But also, I cannot stand that he keeps reciting back Claire's words. When Claire in the very beginning of the show was like, you know what my father always said? Like, or I always said, show up. You just have to show up. You just gotta be there and show up and do it. And now, like 3 times, I promise you in the episode, Chris Harrison was like, "You showed up."
No, he sure did. He sure did.
You showed up.
I swear, I think Chris Harrison is done with Claire. At the highest of keys, like he's low key over here. He's just like, okay, Claire.
It kills me every time he was like.
Also,
he's just like, he always just like it's always like a slight pause in their conversation.
Right.
After she speaks,
he just repeats it.
Yeah, he's just like, okay. Like I feel like he's getting himself together. It's like,
yes, because I think when Dale said "I love you," Chris's eye said,
well, yeah. He said, you do?
You sure?
You love her?
No, what killed me?
Blink twice.
well, then you need to propose.
Yeah.
No, what took me out? Okay, so when like Claire's waiting for Dale to come out.
I do.
And then Chris comes out and you can see all the emotions going through Claire. So she's like, what's happened? And then Chris is just like, I'm just here to say we're proud of you.
He was like, Claire, there's something I have to tell you. And she literally said, don't make me cry. And she was like,
I'm not gonna make you cry.
I'm not cry. And how he was literally just like pause, tilt.
And he was like, if you're ready, she's like, I'm ready. Bring him out. I am ready.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what was the point? Why give her a mini heart attack? And then
he was like, bored. All the producers, they was like, I should just go real quick.
They need the clickbait. They need the cut.
Because the way they tried to do it, like before every commercial was like, oh, Dale, he's not really Dale's gonna leave. Dale, blah, blah, blah. Don't make me cry. And then they're so extra.
They are. I was so upset. I was like, Chris is out of pocket. Okay. So they left. Dale and Claire are happy. They're together.
Yeah.
Now, this is when I'm watching the episode and I'm already like, no, I don't like this. I don't like this setup for Tayshia.
Me either.
No.
Me either.
These 15, like a good, I think maybe like 5 or 6. I was like, they can stay.
The rest, y'all can cut them and bring it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now I'm getting nervous and I'm like, okay, especially with Kenny. I was like, okay, you didn't have a connection with Claire, but I don't like your response and to the way that the situation's handled. I don't want you for Tayshia. So and then Jason,
What's Kenny?
the annoying
boy bander. He's the one who's like, you owe us an apology.
He's like an American flag tattoo, right? Or something like that.
Oh, God.
He's a what?
I think it's like American flag tattoo.
I have
Something like
He
that.
did porn, or he did photo shoots for porn.
Okay.
He looks like a porn star. I was about to say that.
He does. Okay, so Jason and Blake. My first thought, leave. Get out of town because you guys were and a little bit Kenny, but Kenny made sense that he stayed because he hadn't had a connection, right? But Jason and Blake, get out. I don't need you in this house because what could you possibly, you guys said you invested so much into Claire and you only, like you were here for Claire and you opened up to Claire that you just couldn't go through. So then why, when Chris comes and said, okay, you have to tonight decide if you're going to stay, why do those two come out?
Because there's cameras and they're on TV.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm already not liking this setup. I'm already not liking this setup. They also
Did
don't.
Shamar Moore stay?
Who?
Shamik Moore?
Shamar Moore.
Who's Shamar?
Riley?
Shamar Moore Jr.
Is that Riley?
I think it's Jason. That's his name.
Oh, I don't know who Shamar Moore Jr. is.
I
don't understand your reference.
I will post it on our Twitter.
Okay.
It's like Shamar Moore.
Go to our Twitter at Gems_talking to see the picture.
Oh, you talking about the one with the glasses?
Yes.
Okay, I kind of see what you're saying. He does kind of look like him.
Oh, the light skin one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but different because he has hair and he like skinnier.
Well, like younger Shamar Moore had hair.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of see it. Okay. Regardless, I'm nervous. I'm not liking the setup. The guys don't know who's coming out. They just know they're getting a new Bachelorette. Tayshia comes out the limo looking bomb. I like her dress. I like it. Some people didn't like it, but I really liked it.
She looks great.
She looks
She's
good.
very pretty.
Okay. She comes in the house and we see their initial reactions a little bit.
Do
No,
they?
we don't.
It just
Well,
goes
we
to
see
be
the previews.
continued.
Yeah, we see.
We see previews.
I think, like, I know some people have said, like, what else is supposed to do? And I wouldn't mind redoing intros, but I guess that would be hard on the guys. At least what they could have done, I think, to make it more dramatic, they could have been standing outside, lined up, and her getting out the limo. I think that's more of a moment for her. But I think them just sitting in the room, or like
And she walks in.
The power dynamic to me, I don't like it.
I thought, okay, because I was trying to think of how else could they do that. In the limo one, she would have had to been getting in and out the limo, right? I was like, this is too much. What they could have did, there's 2 doors right on the side. She could have stood in the middle. They all sit in. One comes out this side. They do the little, hi, I'm Bull.
Yes.
And they go back in. And the next one comes out.
Yes.
Like, y'all could have just did that.
Even if it's just the names.
Yeah.
Like, even if they don't have to do the whole, like, first day, but just give Tayshia
her moment. I wanted her to have her bachelorette
first
moment.
introductions.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now she doesn't have that.
Where are the new guys?
They have to bring in new guys.
I don't think it's fair for her to start off with less guys, not get an introduction, and then all these guys were here for someone else. I think there should be some fresh faces who are here knowing that it's Tayshia.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
I feel like the previews kind of seem like it. Like Chris says, like that night she's in the dress, they're like, there's something else that we have for you or something. And I feel like they should. To me, it's like, it's their norm. Like, it is their norm to always have guys on standby.
Yes.
Like, even with the whole, like they've obviously had Tayshia quarantining longer than they officially pulled the plug on Clare for just in case. Like, so I feel like there are guys there that were possibly could have joined the season.
Yes.
So there's no reason why there shouldn't be new guys. Now, the guys who had left, I feel like if they let them go home right away, okay, I get it, because then they'll have to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But there should be guys there.
Yeah.
And then I was also thinking, they thought, like, some guys had the option to leave. So she could have ended up with less than the 15 or 16 that were there. So what was their plan? They needed to add
I was hoping
more.
a lot more would leave.
Same.
And then they'd bring in new guys and then even it out, freshen
That's
it
what
up
was
and
pissing
everything.
me off. I was like,
It's
well,
fair.
were they expecting someone? Did they have someone in mind? So that's why they stayed? And then once they see that it's her, they're gonna
Oh yeah,
leave.
because some of them can still leave. Because
Okay.
even one guy, he was like, yeah, what if I'm just like not physically attracted to her? So I think some of them might after and I wouldn't be like, I just don't. Because they don't even know who it. Usually when they know who the Bachelor, Bachelorette is, they have time to be like, oh, I've seen stuff of this person. I know them. I can see something with them.
Yeah.
They have no idea who it is.
Yeah, and it makes me, I think it puts Tayshia or even another step on the wrong side, because they could even tell them going in, like, if it's for Tayshia. And I don't know if they thought it would be worse, guys leaving once they find out it's Tayshia. Like, I don't know if they thought racism or what.
Yeah.
But I do, like, you already see Blake saying, like, I don't know if, like, I could, like, be with, if Tayshia's the one, like, I could make it work with Tayshia or whatever. And it was just like, I just feel like it's not fair to her. And right now her season is looking very
I feel like it's gonna be very
It's
tumultuous for
looking very
her.
bleak. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And I feel like, dang, this is the second Black woman to be Bachelorette, but she's already gonna show her hand up the stick.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yes.
I think production screwed Rachel over so much. I don't want Tayshia to have any type of issues.
Same. And
You
it
know?
seemed like
Exactly.
she was crying way much more than I thought I would be seeing
Okay,
in her
guys,
promos.
like I said before, I've seen a spoiler
Phoenix.
that I want to say,
No.
but I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't care. No.
Okay. Does it have to do? I just want to know what it has to do with. Does it have to
I
do
think
with
I
How
know.
it ends.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I saw what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just don't like how they've already set her up. I
Yeah.
wanted her to get her full Bachelor experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy because her promos, her dresses, everything, she looks good.
Yes.
And it's like, I feel like on the optics wise, she is set up perfectly for if guys who actually were there for her would be like in awe, like dropped it, like, wow.
Yeah.
And so the fact that guys are here that weren't thinking that they're going to get her, I don't think they're going to treat her as well as they should. And also knowing how they were talking about Clare or just their interactions with Clare, I don't want some of them for her. And I'd be upset watching the show, looking at her get cozy with some of these people who I'm like, no, trash.
It reminds me of our other episode when we talk about dating and how guys or girls, whoever, talk about their exes or like how like bad situations happen can tell you a lot. And that's what this gave me. It was like how they were talking about Claire and how everything went down lets me know more about who you are as a person. This is how you react when you're hurt. And this is how you react when you're rejected. And some of the guys I think passed. Some of them did not.
The
pass.
way Jason was like, "Look, you don't want to see me angry. Like I don't usually get angry, and I will." And I was like, "You can exit stage left."
yes. Especially since in his one-on-one, he was like, "What's the worst things people say about you?" Like, "I'm manipulative," and I was like,
"That's not a good thing."
No, Jason, I don't know. He got issues.
He said he was talking to demons or something. That was off.
No, he was like, "Stop it." He was saying he's talking to demons.
Oh,
he said, "I have."
He said he got demons in his back pocket, so I don't know.
Next episode, like he said he has demons inside of him. He said
he was talking to his best friend last night. His imaginary friend.
He said he feels a demon right now.
I'm already off of Jason.
I don't
sorry.
know NBA YoungBoy 2.0. Get off my screen. Like, yeah, Jason is, I don't know. There's something about him that I don't like. And he's off.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Well, I think that's it.
I think that's it too.
Yeah, that was week 4.
Oh, next week we get to see. No, is that towards where Claire and Dale come back?
Oh,
I think so.
I think how they made it seem like
it sounded like it was next week. Okay. So we have that.
Do you guys believe that they didn't talk?
I believe they didn't talk. They're still setting it up like, did they talk? I don't think they talked.
They're really just trying to push that narrative down our throat that like, guys, because she said she looked up everybody.
And they're so honed in on like, oh, if she hadn't researched Dale, I was like, she researched all everyone. You guys.
Yeah.
So
even I think one of them said that, or Chris said that when he was talking to the guys after like Claire and Dale left. He was like, yeah, maybe she like looked him up and like made something in her head. Or, like, she looked up literally everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
And so, Dale stood out.
In that way, nobody had any higher chance than anybody else.
And I scrolled through his Instagram. I see what Claire. I can see how Claire fell in love with him through his Instagram. Even how she was talking about like when you posted on Mother's Day about your mother and your sister, and me and Onyx was scrolling through and I was like, oh, she right here. Like he does therapy talk a bit. He was like, you know, like move forward and like it was just like very like Claire.
It's very Claire-esque. And I was like,
that up.
Yeah, she would be a one to fall for this, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah. So they're gonna have their little interview, like tell all basically. And then we're finally going to see the guys' reactions to Tayshia. Yeah. And now we're in Tayshia's season. Now this is Tayshia's Bachelorette. And I'm excited, but also so nervous because it's already set up for it to fail. Yeah. And I don't like saying that because I
don't even know Tayshia. I didn't even watch Tayshia on Colton's season?
Yeah.
Colton and Paradise.
I want her to succeed.
A nice girl.
She seems very sweet. Yeah. She seems chill. She seems like if like this whole Claire thing didn't happen, it would have been a very boring season.
I mean, she's popped off.
No.
Okay.
On Colton season and a bit of Paradise. Like she
was on Paradise too?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I saw her a little bit on Paradise.
Yeah, like she definitely had her haters because she like stepped to people that there was her faves.
Oh, I remember her on Paradise actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, that was our episode. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Gems_talking, Instagram, Talking Gems. And then we also have videos on YouTube, Talking Gems. Rate, review, subscribe.
Like, I don't know, like something.
Give us feedback if you want us to talk about anything.
If you have opinions, take it to our Instagram or our Twitter.
Yeah, we like engagement. So
I like talking to people. That's fun.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.